Polls suggest a majority of Americans approve of U.S. President Barack Obama's decision to restore diplomatic relations with Cuba. But ahead of his visit to the island, Obama, a member of the Democratic Party, has faced criticism from many of the Republican Party's presidential candidates. What do Cubans think of all of this? CCTV's Michael Voss is joining us from Havana with more. Michael.
Well, Mike, it's going to be a family as well as a state visit. President Barack Obama is coming here with his wife, Michelle, and their two daughters. One of the key points to look out for will be his address to the Cuban people, which we expect to be televised live on Cuban television. He's also going to meet some of Cuba's new entrepreneurs in the hope that if the U.S. can encourage Cuba's private sector and help develop a middle class, that could encourage further changes down the road. Now, there is growing excitement here in Cuba about the visit, but there are also mixed feelings about this new relationship with the United States.
Juan Carlos Blaine is one of Cuba's new generation of entrepreneurs. He graduated as an IT engineer, but 3 years ago packed it in to open a small hamburger restaurant. He's excited at President Obama's visit and the prospect of what improved relations could bring.
I never thought I would see this day. It's extraordinary. Something that will benefit both Cuba and the US. We should be grateful. I have read that President Obama is interested in the self-employed and how private business works here. If we can learn from their experience, it would really help us.
Last year, a US research firm carried out a secret nationwide opinion poll in Cuba, commissioned by the Washington Post and two Hispanic television networks.
The results of this survey showed that 80% of the Cubans polled had a positive opinion of US President Barack Obama. That's a much higher approval rating than for either President Raul Castro or his brother and former leader, Fidel.
But some question US motives toward Cuba.
Here's you as a young man with Fidel Castro.
Manuel Yepes is the retired head of Cuba's news agency Prensa Latina.
Here I am with Fidel and Che.
Over the years, he worked closely with most of Cuba's revolutionary leaders.
Do you trust the Americans when it comes to Cuba?
We don't trust them. We don't trust them. We trust things that Obama has promised and things like that, but not the motives, the hidden motives of the U.S. imperialists. We don't trust.
You still believe the United States wants to bring about regime change here in Cuba?
I think they're trying to do that. They're trying to do that. I don't say that Obama is trying to do that, but I say that the political establishment is trying to do that.
After 50 years of hostilities, a lot of differences remain, but most Cubans, including Manuel Yepes, approve of the restoration of diplomatic relations and the American flag flying in front of the US Embassy once again.
Mike, as you mentioned, there is some opposition in the United States to Obama's policies towards Cuba. One of the reasons he's coming now is in the hope that this could make normalization much harder to reverse.
Michael Voss, live for us in Havana. Thanks so much.